So kahit na wala pa ho yung affidavit, doon pa lamang sa kanilang mga testimonya during the public hearing, nakita ko na mukhang hindi kapani-paniwala. At least this is my view as a lawyer.
Ano man yung kanilang sinumite, wala pong karapatan ang sino man sa atin na husgahan yun eh. Yun po yung kanilang nalalaman eh.
Again, as far as the rules are concerned, the Senate President has the power to order his transfer. Especially in this case, na I asked the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee after they sent a letter, and it was done in court. It was done in the RTC 112 this morning. That was where the letter was transmitted to Attorney Valentina of the Senate Legal, who was representing the Senate in the hearing of the writ of amparo. Yun ang istorya nun. So the request was go back to the Senate. Ay sabi ko maganda, if that is your request, because that is precisely what the members of the minority wanted. Hindi ba? So no question. O ba't may question ngayon?
Ang problema nga po, hindi naman po simpleng request to ng Speaker of the House eh. Yung mismong witness, siya nasusunod eh. Sinabi niya dun sa House eh, wag niyo na ako ibalik sa Senate, hindi siya binalik. So yes, initially, the issue was not where. The issue is not where to detain him. The issue is who has authority and ano ang rules natin. Ang rules natin yung committee. Ang committee hindi lang yung chairman. But at the last minute, napag-usapan natin dito at hawak ko po ang ating minutes or yung galing ba to sa journal? Transcript, no? Meron pong TSN po to. Nag-motion eh. Ang plenary po mas mataas sa committee. So paano po nangyari na si Assistant DE sa simpleng request niya, hindi naman nag-meeting yung committee. Ako as minority leader, automatic, hindi naman ako nakonsulta. So ang problema namin sa minority is not really where he is detained eh. Ang problema namin, can we rely on the rules? Because ang tamang procedure doon, kung hindi natin pinagbotohan to sa the floor, is that either the chairman decides and we all give our concurrence sa chairman or he informs us, may letter, anong tingin nyo? Then of course, masusunod naman yung majority, minority naman kami. Pero hindi na naman ganun nangyari.
Ngayon, to answer the issue of Mr. Hernandez, the majority leader may read the recommendation or the recommitment of Mr. Hernandez to the Senate custody.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. President, with the permission of the body, we made a study on the action that transpired the last 2 days on the recommitment of Vice Hernandez dito po sa atin sa Senado. To put on record, this is how it transpired. Last week, it was requested by, of course, the House of Representatives that we detain him in the House of Representatives. Hindi po kayo pumayag. Ang sabi nyo, kung ganun po ang gusto ni Hernandez kasi ayaw nyo pong bumalik dito, ang sinabi mo, hindi pwede. Dapat neutral and safe area dun po sa PNP Custodial Center. So nagkaroon po tayo ng debate dito dahil it was our distinguished colleague Senator Marcoleta who raised the issue that why was he put in the PNP Custodial area and not to the Senate detention facility, which was seconded by many of the members of the minority. A debate ensued. After the debate, I asked for a minute suspension and we all suggested na sa Pasay City Jail na lang po dahil malapit po sa Senado. Pero let's not forget the fact that originally, the position of the minority was to bring him back to the Pasay City detention. It was only I who made the recommendation during the break that we keep it in Pasay City Jail because I approached the minority and you all agreed to my recommendation. And then after we started the session once more, the motion was done by the minority, graciously done by the minority to move him instead to the Pasay City Jail. But upon consultation of the chairperson of the Blue Ribbon Committee, Senator Lacson, the Senate President granted the request as the chairperson of the Blue Ribbon Committee requested that he be brought back to the Senate, which was really At yun talaga ang posisyon ng gusto ng ating minority at the time para wala ng gulo. Pumayag po kayo na dito na lang sa Senado at may request na rin po for the record. May sulat po si Bryce Hernandez, ang mga abogado niya, na ibalik siya dito at yan po ay confirmed sa kanilang hearing this morning for his writ of amparo before the Pasay City Regional Trial Court. Sinabi po ay doon na lang po ako sa Senado ilagay. So, the Senate President acted on the request na gusto ibalik na lang po dito. Tayo naman po ang tayo naman po ay may kustudiya niya sa kanya. At as a matter of fact, while watching the press con of our distinguished colleague, Senator Marcoleta, nung tinanong sa kanya, ang sinagot po ni Senator Marcoleta ay tama naman po yan. Dapat talaga dito siya sa Senado. Kasi tayo po ang may kustudiya. Sinabi po ng ating mahal na senador yun. So we also pursuant to Article 6, Section 6 of the Rules of the Blue Ribbon Committee, which states, a witness cited in contempt may be ordered to be detained in such a place, be designated by the committee or concurrence of the Senate President by either detention order or commitment order. And under that commitment order, wherein the witness cited contempt refuses to produce documents required of him and her or to be sworn or to testify or maliciously evades or misleads the committee or otherwise purge himself or herself of that contempt may be ordered to be committed to any jail or prison facility upon recommendation of the committee through the chairman or the concurrence of the Senate President. So in this case po, the chairman had requested that he be brought back to the Senate for detention. It's not a violation of any rule, Mr. Chairman. Mr. President, thank you.
President.
Yes, the minority leader is recognized.
Sir President, allow me some, gandang hapon po, and allow me to clarify some, for our own peace of heart and mind, and marami kasing nakikinig din na lawyers, legislators, para lang klaro yung records, no? There are a few things I rely on. I rely on rules. The Bible is full of rules, and I believe kung ano itanim, yan ang anihin. The Senate, may rules yan. So, minority, majority, sigurado tayong masusunod yung rule. And of course, sometimes we misquote each other or we have misunderstanding, but we find a way na mag-usap-usap. Minsan umiinit ang ulo. I thank Senator Bato for bringing it up. I thank the Senate President for clarifying that he was referring to those commenting outside because wala na po ni isa sa minority ang nagsabing tuta. I think that was comments outside the Senate. And it is fair game for whoever is alluded to. Both ways po, di ba? Pagka may sinabi tungkol sa minority, pero hindi naman kayo nagsabi or hindi dito sa floor or sa media sinabi ng ibang kakampi or supporter, fair game yan. Part ng another rule is the Constitution. So first, let me clarify yung pagiging unparliamentary. You cannot argue with the presiding officer. That is what, thank you very much. That is what is unparliamentary. You cannot argue with the presiding officer. Klaro yon, we all agree on that. But you can ask a question sa Senate President. Then the Senate President has an option to answer it himself or to pass it to the majority leader or whoever is in charge. But in this case, last week, because it was a decision by Senator Soto, our Senate President, hindi lang ng majority, our Senate President, you chose to answer it from there, which is your privilege. So we didn't mean to argue with you. But the procedure would be to either ask someone else to explain it or for the Senate President to go down at dito po mag-argue so that we do not argue with the Senate President. So if there was any form of disrespect, Mr. Senate President, we did not mean that. Pasensya na rin po kayo. But in the same manner, we have to argue our point of view and rules kasi dito ang daming congressman na nabanggit and wala tayong sinasanto dito. So kung may senador nababanggit, so be it. We have to get to the bottom of all of this. We need a national reset dapat lumabas lahat ng katotohanan. Nung sinabi kong we all have to repent, totoo yun. We are all sinners, but that doesn't mean na yung most guilty, yung mga guilty, lahat ng involved dito ay hindi dapat ma-expose at dapat parusahan. Ang problema nga, may gumugulo. At kung ikaw ang mastermind, guguluhin mo to. So ang problema namin, Mr. President, is that, and I think the Senator Marcoleta, the former chairman, will bring it up, no? Wala pa tayo dun sa state witness eh. Nandun pa lang tayo sa protection of the witness sa mga diskayas. Pero lumipat po tayo dito sa Assistant DE. Nagulat po kami kasi nga hindi binalik sa Senado when he was still chairman. And Majority Leader, just to be concise, I'll read the rule. Ha? Sabi dito sa rule sa page 6 of 7, section 6, subparagraph C, a witness cited in contempt may be ordered detained in such a place that may be designated by the committee alone. May word po na alone. Or with the concurrence of the Senate President. And in our discussion, the new chairman admitted that he was not consulted. It was the Senate President. But I myself, I said, siguro pag nasa ganun sitwasyon, kailangan umakto kagad. I mean, the record, Mr. President, will bear me out, di ba? Na sinabi ko naman, di ba, na ayaw nyo magkaroon ng constitutional crisis, nagsalita yung House, nagsalita yung Senate. Ang problema nga po, hindi naman po simpleng request to ng Speaker of the House eh. Yung mismong witness, siya nasusunod eh. Sinabi niya dun sa House eh, wag nyo na ako ibalik sa Senate, hindi siya binalik. So yes, initially, the issue was not where. The issue is not where to detain him. The issue is who has authority and ano ang rules natin. Ang rules natin yung committee. Ang committee hindi lang yung chairman. But at the last minute, napag-usapan natin dito at hawak ko po ang ating minutes or yung galing ba to sa journal? Transcript, no? Meron pong TSN po to. Nag-motion eh. Ang plenary po, mas mataas sa committee. So, paano po nangyari na si Assistant DE, sa simpleng request niya, hindi naman nag-meeting yung committee. Ako as minority leader, automatic, hindi naman ako nakonsulta. So, ang problema namin sa minority is not really where he is detained eh. Ang problema namin, can we rely on the rules? Because ang tamang procedure doon, kung hindi natin pinagbotohan to sa the floor, is that either the chairman decides and we all give our concurrence sa chairman or he informs us, may letter, anong tingin nyo? Then of course, masusunod naman yung majority, minority naman kami. Pero hindi na naman ganun nangyari. Tapos maririnig namin, mababasa na lang namin sa dyaryo or sa internet or maririnig namin ngayon sa majority leader na yun ang naging desisyon. Hindi pwedeng magdesisyon ang plenary tapos mababaliktad na lang ito. So the issue is not just Bryce. The issue is also the rules of the Senate. Ganun din po I don't know who wants to answer this. Ano ba ang rule natin pagdating sa CCTV? So I put this on record. I will put it on record. Hanga ako kay Senator Lacson mag-imbestiga. And I support him to go all the way. But hindi ba kung meron tayong sinususpetsa dito, you make a request for the CCTV. And then, you have a conclusion. Kasi kung hindi, lahat na lang tayo titingin sa CCTV. Tapos sasabihin natin dito, may nakita akong ganito, pumunta sa media. May nakita ko, pumunta sa ganito. Di ba? So, yes, the government is under attack and that's legitimate. The Gen Zs are rising up. That's legitimate. They should. But we should not attack ourselves. Kung meron guilty sa atin dito, i-expose natin tapos sa Ethics Committee. Huwag natin pigilan ng witness. Kung gusto ituro ni Bryce, kung siyam kami sa minor, ituro niya. Pero sundin natin yung rules, no? So before I let go of the floor, I think Senator Marcoleta on the same topic wants to say some things. But whether he will say it or not, Mr. President, no? I don't know the pleasure of the body sa plenary. At mas marami naman kayo eh. So kung gusto nyo dito sa Senate, di okay. And I think Senator Estrada also found out that both in the PNP custodial and in the Pasay City, walang taga-usaha. Tama ba yun? Sa custodial, hindi totoo na it was under the custody of USAA kasi walang taga-USAA ang nandun. So we do not know what transpired during that time. Kasi pagka under contempt, hindi punishment yun eh. Binibigyan mo ng oras yung witness pag isip-isipan kung magsasabi ng totoo o hindi. But if we allow people to come in and talk to him, hindi mo na alam kung sino nag-guide sa witness na yon. Ang pwede lang yung abogado niya, maybe his family, di ba? So I think this is legitimate without pointing fingers to anyone. I don't know what the Discayas will say. I don't know what Bryce Hernandez will say. Let them say everything they want to say. As Senator Ping naman said, may resibo. Pero katulad kay Joel Villanueva, peke yung resibo, ghost yung resibo eh. Hindi pala screenshot yun eh. Pinicturan pala ang cellphone. Ang screenshot, cellphone, tinave mo yung screen. Eto, cellphone, kinunan. O sabihin mo na, sige, let's not on technicalities. Tapos tignan mo yung laman. Yung laman, member daw siya ng CA, hindi siya member ng CA doon. At tapos na. Kay Senator Jinggoy, naka-Amerikana. Minsan lang nga lang mag-Amerikana yung tao eh. Nung birthday niya. Pero ang picture sinabi, birthday niya, hindi naman. So yes, may resibo. Pero may peking resibo eh. But we will address that at the right forum, Mr. President. But again, we have to follow the rules. Sabi ng Supreme Court sa case ni Vice President Sara, sa tamang paraan, sa tamang panahon. Senator Marcoleta, will you... Same issue. Same issue ba? On. Yeah, same issue. So that isang sagutan na lang, maybe I can...
Mr. President,
Majority Leader.
yes, we'd like to recognize Senator Marcoleta, please, Mr. President.
Senator Marcoleta is recognized.
Parang problemado na itong mga nasa majority
Sir President, I rise on a question of privilege. There are recent unsettling statements.
Nangyari.
Yeah, Mr. President, just to, before, my apologies to Senator Marcoleta, because Senator Erwin has been quietly, diligently waiting for his turn to give his
Kailan naman nag-uumpisa na?
privilege speech.
Well, if
Okay.
Senator
If Senator
Marcoleta-
Erwin is willing to give way, we have no problem, Mr. President.
All right, go ahead. You may proceed.
And besides, Mr. Majority Leader, I'm rising on a question of privilege, which is the higher and preferred way of speaking before this body.
Parang ayaw pa magsalita
Mr. President.
Senator Marcoleta.
I am armed by the explanation of the minority leader that we're not questioning the prerogative of the presiding officer, but we can question the Senate President on issues that are quite legitimate, such as the matters I would like to raise today. Unsettling because, Mr. President, on September 9, in your interview with ANC Head Start with Ms. Karen Davila about the Blue Ribbon Chairman being a lawyer, your answer is, there is no such thing as a rule na dapat abogado yun. Abogado ka nga, di ka naman magaling mag-imbestiga, di ba? So useless. Mr. President, I'd like to put on record, there was no inclination from this representation na meron man lang kaming sinabi na ang chairman ay dapat. Chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee ay dapat abogado. Wala po kaming kahit na shadow ng inclination. Any reference to that matter, wala po kaming sinasabi. Ngayon po, yung sinasabing abogado ka nga, di ka naman magaling mag-imbestiga, hindi ko po alam kung sino po yung tinutukoy ninyo sapagkat narinig din po kayo sa inyong mga interviews. Sinabi niyo po, Mr. President, na maraming dissatisfied sa direction na tinahak po ng aking investigasyon nung ako pa po ay chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Hindi ko po alam kung sino po yung dissatisfied sa mga members natin. Wala naman pong perfecto, Mr. President, pero sa akin pong pananaw ay ginawa ko po yung aking makakaya. Kung meron man po akong pagkukulang, ay humihingi po ako ng tawad sa aking mga kasamahan sa Blue Ribbon Committee. Ngunit hindi ko po sinadya na ilihis sa direksyon ng tamang pag-iimbestiga ang ating Blue Ribbon Committee. Noong September 10 po, 2025, ang programa pong Sa Totoo Lang sa 1PH, nandun po yata si Joe Francisco, Chicky Berhel, Cheryl Cosim. Ang sabi po ninyo, with reference to the affidavit of the Discayas, may suspetsa kami na inedit yung affidavit. Mr. President, ito po ay indirect affront to the integrity of this representation. Yung lamang pong pagsuspetsahan niyo na inedit yung affidavit, paano kayo nagsuspetsa? Ano po ang ginamit ninyong batayan at pagsususpetsahan ninyo na maring inedit yung affidavit? Ako po bilang chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee, nagpakaingat-ingat po ako nung sila po ay sa pamamagitan ng kanilang mga lapit, ay minabuti ko pong hingin sa kanila. Sumulat sila sa akin para malaman ko kung talagang meron silang kagustuhang magpahayag ng kanilang saloobin tungkol sa dinidinig natin sa Blue Ribbon. At gusto kong masatisfy ang sarili ko, Mr. President, kung totoo nga at kung bakit nila gagawin. So nakareceive po ako ng sulat sa kanila, handwritten. At nung malaman ko po na talagang galing sa kanila ang pagpapahayag na voluntaryo, sinabi ko, sige, gawin ninyo. At kinakailangan, bago nyo ibigay sa akin, notaryado na yun. At yun pong affidavit na yun, o subscribe sworn statement, Mr. President, ay naibigay sa akin, araw na po, maggagabi na po ng araw ng linggo, in a sealed envelope. At kung sinasabi po ninyo na ang SOP ay dapat na ibigay sa mga miyembro ng ating Blue Ribbon, wala na pong pagkakataon sapagkat sa umaga po alas 9 ay magsisimula na po ang Blue Ribbon Committee. Noong September 14 po sa Twitter ninyo, meron po kayong binanggit at ito po ang nakasulat. Very devious. Wala pang hearing ang Blue Ribbon ni Ping Lacson. Gusto ng ilang magpalitan agad. What are they so afraid of? Bakit minamadali WPP agad ito? Ano bang nangyari? Malalaman natin sa Blue Ribbon kay Senator Lacson, meron siyang investigasyon ginagawa tungkol dyan. Ano po ba yung pinanggalingan ng mga salitang yun, Sir President? Sino po yung natatakot? Sino po yung nagmamadali? Kung ang inyo pong tinutukoy ay yung aking sulat para irekomenda na mag-apply sa Witness Protection Program ang mag-asawang Diskaya, yun po inaayon sa batas, Mr. President. Ito po ay naayon sa Section 4, Republic Act 6981. Ito po yung Witness Protection Act. Ang sinasabi po doon, in case of legislative investigations in aid of legislation, a witness with his express consent may be admitted into the program upon the recommendation of the Legislative Committee, where his testimony is needed, when in its judgment there is pressing necessity therefore, provided that such recommendation is approved by the President of the Senate. Ang committee po ay nagpasya, Mr. President, kasi hiniling po nung Diskaya sa kanilang sworn statement na meron tangka sa kanilang buhay, sa kanilang seguridad, ang kanilang pamilya at kanilang mga anak. Kung kami po ay nagmamadali, yun po kasi ang sinasabi ng batas. Para makapag-apply po siya na sa Witness Protection Program, ang chairman po ng committee sa pagsang-ayon ng kanyang mga miyembro, kailangan po kami gumawa ng sulat sa Secretary of Justice. Ayun nga po, ipinrepair namin kagad. Hindi nga lamang po napirmahan ng pumalit na Senate President sapagkat nagpaliwanag siya nalaman pala niya na meron palang press con ang ating Department of Justice Secretary na doon sinabi niya, hindi raw siya magbibigay ng witness protection pagkat kinakailangan munang ibalik ng mga diskaya anumang pera ang kanilang nakuha sapagkat hindi kanila yon. Sa makatid, ang policy daw ng Department of Justice ay ibalik muna yung pera bago aksyonan ang kanyang aplikasyon sa Witness Protection Program. Mr. President, ako po'y nalulungkot. Maski sa aking press con kanina ay sinabi ko kung bakit ganun ang sinabi ng Secretary of Justice. Wala po sa tuntunin yun eh. Kung babasahin lamang po niya ang Section 3 at Section 10 ng Republic Act 6981, wala pong binabanggit doon na restitution, yung pagsusuli. E nag-uumpisa lang po sa pagsusuri, sa pag-iimbestiga ang komite. Meron na po bang halaga na dapat isuli? Na-determine na po ba yun? Meron na po bang ruling na kung ano yung kung sino at gaano ang isosoli ng kung sino man ang may kasalanan? Meron na po bang ganun? Wala po eh. Prospective lang pong mag-a-apply eh. Nasa sections 3 and 10 ang mga requisites kung ano-ano po yun. Mga 10 requisites po yun. Yung restitution, wala po ron. Kaya po ako'y nalulungkot kung bakit po binanggit yun ng Secretary of Justice. Samantalang, nung pong linggo, bago magkaroon ng hearing noong September 8, nagkausap pa kami at binigyan pa niya ako ng kasiguruhan na sige, ibigay mo na sa kanila ang pangangako na mabibigyan natin sila ng immunity sapagkat tayo naman ay magka-partner sa kagustuhan natin, pati yung Witness Protection Program ay ating maipasakagad. So yung pagbibigay po niya sa akin ng garantiya, kasama na po yung kanyang USEC. Yun ang nagbigay sa akin ng lakas na loob. Kaya ako isumulat kagad. Hindi ko alam na babaligtarin ako ng Department of Justice. Ngayon po, Mr. President, yun po ang ginamit ninyong dahilan kung bakit hindi nyo pinirmahan. Sana man lang po ay napakarami naman ninyong mga abogado sa inyong opisina rin. Binasa nyo sana yung batas. Kung yung restitution po ay isa sa requisite para ang isang tao ay makapag-apply man lang. Yun po kasi yung prinsipyo ng batas eh. Bago siya gumawa ng isang marahas na kapasyahan, alam niyang mag-aalanganin ang buhay niya. Magsasabi siya nung inaakala niyang maaaring makapaglagay sa panganib ng kanyang buhay, kailangan nga bigyan natin din siya ng protection. Yun po yung batas eh. Hindi ko nga po alam kung bakit sasabihin ninyo, bakit may pagmamadali? Dito pa nga po sa sinabi ninyo noong September 13, Mr. President. Ang reading ko, sabi po niyo, camouflage lang yun eh. To put me and the leadership of the Senate under the gun. Kunwari, merong naiinis sila. Kung bakit hindi ko pinirmang sulat sa DOJ. Baka may commitment sila to someone, to some people. Is there a commitment somewhere? Baka merong nakiusap na pwede silang ipasok sa Witness Protection Program. Lahat po ng ganitong mga pagsususpetsa is a direct affront to the integrity of this representation, Mr. President. As a member of the Senate, bakit po kinakailangan magkaroon tayo ng ganitong pahayag sa publiko na walang basihan ni katitingman? Ito po yung nakakalungkot. Noong September 10, sa bilyonaryo interview with Ms. Corina Sanchez, ang tanong po ni Ms. Corina, Bryce Hernandez, natatakot daw po siyang bumalik sa Senado. May basihan po ba ang kanyang pangamba? Yun po yung tanong niya sa ating Senate President. Ang sagot po ng ating Senate President, sabi niya sa House. Makatid, parang kinonfirm niya. Ang nangyari, yung mga congressmen nag-request na kung pwede daw, huwag ibalik sa Senate dahil meron daw siyang binabanggit na mga senador. So ang ginawa naman ng mga congressmen, nakiusap kay Speaker, si Speaker tinanong sa akin, dahil ang sinasabi raw kung pwede mo nang i-retain. Sabi ko, hindi pwede Dahil sa legal custody namin yan eh. Dahil mayroong contempt dyan sa Senado. Nakikiusap sila kung pwede na wag sa Senate mismo, hindi naman i-retain sa House. Ang umandar sa akin, siyempre, yung tinatawag na parliamentary courtesy. Kasi meron silang nakakontempt doon, yung si Mendoza, gusto rin naman namin kunin yun. Alam ko later, iimbitahan namin yun. So ang nangyayari po, Mr. President, kaya ba dinidiscredit, kaya ba pinagsususpetsahan yung Diskaya sworn affidavit sapagkat may binanggit siyang 17 congressmen? Yun po ba ang dahilan? Bakit naman po nung siya, yung Hernandez ay nag-testify sa House, bakit kagyat nating pinakinggan naman ang kanyang katwiran? Dahil may binanggit naman siya, di umano, na may kasalanan na dalawang kasama natin dito. At saka siya nagsabi na, huwag niyo na akong ibalik doon sapagkat manganganib ang buhay ko. Ang maliwanag po dito, pagka ang nagsasalita si Bryce Hernandez, parang merong kagad pagpapatibay. Parang pinaniwalaan na natin na maaaring manganganib ang buhay niya sapagkat meron siyang binanggit na dalawang kasama natin. Paano yung buhay ng Diskaya na inimbitahan nila doon? Na binigyan na, bigla na lang nating, wala man lang tayong aksyon. Samantalang 17 congressmen ang binanggit niya. Hindi niyo ba naisip, manganganib din ang buhay niya, pero walang nagsalita dito sa atin. Yun po yung aking nakikita. Huwag po tayo mag-aaway-away. Ang ating pong hinahanap ay katotohanan lang. Pero kung ganito po ang gagawin natin, manggagaling po sa ating Senate President, magpapalipad po kayo ng salita na kami po ay wala namang kinalaman. Lalong-lalo na po ang representasyong ito. Kahit minsan wala po akong sinabihan na mas magaling po ako. Wala po akong sinabing gano'n. Ang sinabi ko lang, ang pagkakaiba po ng investigasyon ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee is in aid of legislation. Kung ang direksyon ko pong yun ay mali para sa inyo, nasa sa inyo na po yun. Pero yun po ang nalalaman ko. Sa 3 pagdinig lamang po, nasabi ko na po kanina sa press con, sa 3 pagdinig pa lamang po namin, nakita ko na po ang pangangailangan ng halos 14 na legislative measures na dapat natin kagad na ipasa. Para sa ganon, maayos natin, ma-address natin kagad ang malalang problema ng corruption sa ating bansa. Maraming salamat po sa pagkakataon, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta. Senate Majority Leader,
Yes, Senator Kiko Pangilinan would like to be recognized, Mr. President.
an objection? Hearing none, Senator Kiko Pangilinan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is not an interpellation, just a manifestation. Mr. President, bago pa man naglabas ng affidavit ang mag-asawang Diskaya, nag-comment na po ako dahil narinig ko doon mismo sa hearing nung tinanong siya nung ilang mga senador. Binanggit niya ang mga pangalan at sinabi niyang mula 2022. Hindi bago ng 2022. Wala pa ho silang affidavit noon, tinanong sa kanila sa hearing. Kaya nung pa man, nag-comment na ako. At ako mismo sa comment ko, sabi ko, mukhang Photoshop tsaka edited. Hindi yung testimonya, hindi yung affidavit kasi wala pang affidavit noon eh. Testimonya pa lang nung una o pangalawang hearing. Kaya in fairness to the Senate President, kung sinabi niyang edited, I was not referring to, this representation was not referring to the affidavit or in any way referring to the chairperson of the Blue Ribbon Committee. I was referring directly to the testimony given during the hearing, public hearing, of the Diskayas that they said they started flood control projects in 2016 and then went on to continue until 2025. And they too said na itong mga binanggit nilang pangalan ay sa 2022 lang. So kahit na wala pa ho yung affidavit, doon pa lamang sa kanilang mga testimonya during the public hearing, nakita ko na mukhang hindi kapani-paniwala. At least this is my this is my view as a lawyer, na mukhang kung gagawin silang state witness, kinakailangan buo, hindi edited. And when I refer to edited, sila bilang mga testigo, ine-edit nila. Hindi yung chairman ng komite, hindi yung sa I was not referring to the affidavit, I was referring to their testimony when the affidavit had not yet been actually submitted. Just for the record, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Pangilinan.
In addition, Mr. President, in addition, point number 2, sorry. I was a member and continue to be a member of the committee, the Blue Ribbon Committee. Unfortunately, as was pointed out by the former chairperson, it is the committee that decides as to whether or not we will agree to have a witness taken as a in custody to become a witness under the Witness Protection Program. Unfortunately, as a member of the committee, I was not able to read the letter of the chairman then addressed to the Department of Justice. So in that case, Mr. President, sabi siguro kanina, if I heard correctly, nagmamadali dahil nga yung seguridad ng ating mga magiging witness dapat ay paramount. Pero sa akin, mas paramount siguro na may process na ang mga committee members makita man lang yung sulat bago ito'y ma-repair sa Department of Justice. Wala akong nakita, wala po akong nabasa. Nakita ko na lang sa dyaryo, Mr. President.
Mr. President, kailangan lang masagot yung manifestation ni Senator Kiko.
For a while,
Importante lang,
Senator
Mr.
Marcoleta,
President.
you have not been recognized yet. Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President, we'd like to recognize. Well, he may be allowed, if with the permission of the Senate President, let him allow him to answer, or at least reply to the manifestation of Senator Kiko Pangilinan, and then after we'll recognize our Senate President
All right.
for his interpellation.
Thank
All right.
you. Thank you, Mr.
Senator-
President.
Wait for a while. Senator Marcoleta is recognized.
Thank you. Maalala po natin, Mr. President, na nung pangalawang hearing po ng Blue Ribbon Committee, doon po namin finload yung idea na kung nais po ng mga resource persons, particularly po yung mga 15 contractors na naimbita sa ating Blue Ribbon, kung gusto ninyo na magsalita kayo, come into the open, finload po namin sa second hearing yon. Makakatulong po kayo sa Estado, lalong-lalo na po kung magbabanggit kayo ng mga taong alam ninyo na mas malaki kaysa sa inyo kung bakit nangyari ang matinding korupsyon sa ating bansa. So pinupload po natin yung idea na maaari silang mag-apply under the Witness Protection Program. Kaya po yung una nilang pananalita, nung sila ay wala pa po at hindi pa nakumbinsi siguro na lalabas, iba po yung kanilang testimony sigurado. Ngunit nung malaman nila na may pagkaseryoso naman po yung offer namin, na kung makakatulong po kayo, magsabi na kayo ng totoo, baka po, sabi namin, yung criminal prosecution, madidispense na yon, pinaka most likely siguro, pagdating ng araw, civil liability na lang ang haharapin ninyo. Meron po akong paniwala na pinag-isipan nilang mabuti yon, kaya lumabas yung mag-asawa na yon. Nung lumabas sila, natural, dahil sa magsasabi na sila ng totoo, lalabas po talaga kung anong gusto nilang sabihin. Maring taliwas po doon sa narinig na nauna na pahayag ni Senator Kiko. Sa mga tweet, hindi po pwedeng pagbasihan yung nauna nilang pagsagot sapagkat hindi pa sila nakapagpasya na kanilang sasabihin na kung anong nalalaman nilang totoo sa kanilang kalooban. Yun po yung totoong nangyari ron. Kaya hindi po ako naniniwala nang dahil lamang doon sa maaring hindi pareho nung una yung kanyang testimony at doon niya na sinabi yung buong katotohanan, ay maaring edited o maaring may pagbabago o hindi pwedeng pagbasihan. Sa aking palagay po, ang pinag-uusapan natin, ano man yung kanilang sinumite, wala pong karapatan ang sino man sa atin na husgahan yun eh. Yun po yung kanilang nalalaman eh. Pagdating po ng araw, ang korte na po ang gagamit doon. Kung sakasakaling matapos po yung investigasyon na ito, nagkaroon po ng committee report at sinumiti po at ang rekomendasyon po ay ipagsakda lahat ang mga tao may kinalaman dito. Yun pong mga ganong klaseng dokumento ay pupunta rin sa korte. And in the final analysis, only the court can determine yung veracity o yung kawalang katwiran, kung meron man, ng mga naunang pahayag. Yun po yung gusto naming mapansin, Mr. President. Salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta. The Senate President is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I decided to go down from the rostrum so that I can either answer or debate with any or with any interpellations from our colleagues. No, but let me just try to explain some of the points that were raised. That to me, and that is my opinion, inaccurate yung mga intindi or inaccurate yung perception in these interviews that the media has been conducting with me. Ang totoo nga yan, dami ko pa nga iniiwasan na interview eh. Kukunti pa nga yun eh. Pero whenever I am asked, I come out with my opinion. You don't like my opinion, but you have to respect it. In much the same way as I respect your opinion, whatever it is. No, but when it comes to the issue of legal, there are rules to follow. So let me start with what the minority leader said as far as the Blue Ribbon Committee is concerned and the order. Malinaw sa rules natin eh. A witness cited in contempt may be ordered by detained in such a place as may be designated by the committee alone or andun yung or with the concurrence of the Senate President by either one detention order. So it's the Senate President has the power to do that. Ngayon, nung binibigay sa akin yung binigay sa akin yung sulat para i-recommend yung witness protection program ng mga Diskayas, ang feeling ko incomplete eh. Ang usapan at narinig ko ito kay Secretary of Justice, kailangan tell all, hindi tell half. Di ba? Ang mga binabanggit, 2022 to 2025 eh. Sila number one contractor 2016 to 2022 eh. Ba't wala doon ang kwento? Di ba? So, you cannot blame me if I do not want to immediately do that. No? And then I know for a fact, as I said in the media, I know that there is a possibility that we will change the leadership the following day. All right. Now, let me continue with some of the opinions that were aired. Well, of course, yung nabanggit kanina ni Senator De La Rosa, pasensya na, baka nabigla ako at nagamit ko yung salitang gimmick, Pero it could had been a wrong word that I should not have used, no? Pwede kasing opinion yon sapagkat yung public ang madalas kong marinig na sinagsasabi nun eh. Now, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing illegal or out of the rules that we have done. My opinion, as aired, kung hindi nyo nagustuhan, pagpasensya nyo ako. Kung hindi nyo nagustuhan yung mga sinabi ko, na opinion ko. Pero I never mentioned names. When I said, baka na-edit, tama yung sinabi ni Senator Pangilinan. Iba yung thinking eh. Bakit iisipin nyo kagad na pinapa-edit ko yung affidavit? Hindi ba? Hindi eh. So, and when I say those things, you should not feel alluded to. Wala naman akong binanggit na pangalan eh. Di ba? And then yung tinatanong, binanggit yung tungkol sa the Blue Ribbon being a lawyer. does not have anything to do with Senator Marcoleta. It was a question by the public. It was a question even by Secretary Claire Castro or Attorney Claire Castro. The question was, di ba kailangan abogado yun? So that was asked of me. And I said, no. Nothing in the rules says so. Wala naman talaga eh. As a matter of fact, we elected Sani Alvarez as Blue Ribbon Chairman for 2 years. And he is not a lawyer. Binagdebatihan na namin nila Neptali Gonzales yan sa kanila Ernie Maceda yan. Matagal na. Ano? No. He's never a lawyer. Sani Alvarez was not a lawyer. Oh, we even debated about it. Oh, I am very sure, 100%. Oh. Anyway, so again, no? Wala akong binabanggit na ganun. You should not feel alluded to when I say na ang mga... Kasi, at tinatanong nila, hindi naman daw abogado Senator Lacson. Magaling na investigador eh. Di ba? Talo niya ng karaniwang abogado. Hindi ko sinabi, si Senator Marcoleta, abogado na yun o sino pang abogado. I never mentioned any name. I was saying, napakadaming abogado sa Pilipinas, libo-libo. So a lawyer who was not well-versed in investigation, mas gusto ko na yung investigador. That was my point. Ano ba? Why will you feel alluded to, Mr. President, if I did not mention your name? Di ba? Now, again, as far as the rules are concerned, the Senate President has the power to order his transfer, especially in this case, now I asked the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee after they sent a letter, and it was done in court. It was done in the RTC 112 this morning. That was where the letter was transmitted to Attorney Valentina of the Senate Legal, who was representing the Senate in the hearing of the writ of amparo. Yun ang istorya nun. So the request was go back to the Senate. Ay sabi ko maganda if that is your request because that is precisely what the members of the minority wanted. Hindi ba? So no question. O ba't may question ngayon? Nalilipat natin. Binalik natin sa Senate custody. Ano? And then also, to be fair to the OSAHA, ano? Every day, they monitor wherever that person is. Kahit na nung dinala natin yung si Colonel something sa Muntinlupa, mayroon tayong sa Pasay City Jail, si Balad ba yun? You don't need to have an OSAA there the whole day, 24 hours. It's not necessary. The important thing is it's under the custody of a legal custody. Yun ang importante rin. So hindi kailangan nakabantay OSAA doon.